Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing. This is season 29, race 5. And we're in Bahrain, everybody. And we've just been following a fantastic race in Div 1. And now we're joined by the Div 2 boys to show us what their metal is made of. And I've just tried to invite you, but you're not online, Ricky. Ricky! You're not showing online, Ricky. Which is rather annoying because do tell you all the time, not you specifically, but everyone to make sure they're online because it throws up my momentum. You're not even showing. Well, what we'll do is I'll have to invite you in a minute, unless someone like a Terry's can do it while he's in the pits. But we'll jump on with Katamise, who had the honour in Div 1 as he reserved in there for us to have another hot lap in Div 2. And let's see if he can eclipse what he did. He shows some great pace. And can he do any more with DRS open? Down to turn 1 with a hard braking zone. It's the rise curb on the apex of turn 1. Apex of turn 2, run wide on the exit of turn 2. It's very easy to invalidate. And then there's the kink of turn 3. Turn 4, overtaking opportunity for some. Go wide on turn 5, avoid the glitchy curb. S-bends of turns 6 and 7. Avoid the curb on 7. It can be tricky. So go slow down for turn 8. We saw some great overtakes on the inside on Div 1. Ride uphill, round the kink of turn 9. And then the tricky off camber. There's a lot of load on the front left tyre. And go wide. He navigates that well, opens up DRS. As you start climbing up the hill of turn 11. Get good rotation in the car. You've got to show good balance in your setup to be able to take this corner at full speed. Round turn 12, where you can fly round. In previous games, you do end off on the exit of the corner, but you can keep it on the track with the downforce on the setup. Goes quick as possible round turn 13 to set yourself up for the end of the lap. And especially if you're following a car, you want to get good traction off the final proper corner of turn 14. DRS cross the line and a 28 flat for the Haas driver for his first run. I think next was Williams to Terry's just starting his lap. We're going to see 1 or 2 times get put on the board as AJ filling in the McLaren for Harry Hale. Goes P2 the 28.2 and his teammate slots behind a 10th in P3. Sygate up to P4. Great lap from the Haas driver, 29 flat. With the Ferrari drivers 5th and 6th. Wesker missed last week. Has his championship challenge under threat. As Benedict, provisional pole 27.9. Just under a 10th ahead of Katamise. Back with a bang for the new. Oh, what's gone on there? Who's gone deep? Was that a chest bowl? What are you doing, chest bowl? That's not the track. Run well wide, the Sauber driver. Smashing all the boards up. Goes P7 as Lennon. P5 in the Aston. A couple of podiums and a win to his name this season. Benji Boy P4. As we see Rouse, the new Aston Martin driver, replacing Pula Podolski. Up to P8. On their first flying lap. John got his first podium last week for the Challenger drivers. Currently running P13 as Josh leading the way. It's a big gaggle of cars in the middle of the track so far. I'm currently running P11 as we see Terry's up to P8. One of the challengers for the championship for the professional division. Kessler's first time for the Red Bulls is P15. Charlie's got a quali ban, so we'll just come out and do a lap and then go back in. As we'll see Chespo. I'll try and get Ricky in. thought we were friends, Ricky. I thought we were friends, Ricky. Ricky! As Chessbowl does get a time on the board. Charlie's just setting a lap invalidated one, so seeing what time he can set himself. As it was Krills is coming out for their first lap, doing an out lap to warm up. Let me see if I can. I thought I was already friends with him. Let me see if I can. Oh, he's just messaged. One sec. Ricky, I'm trying to invite you, mate, but it's not showing you here. I'm going to send you a friend request. So let me just double check your. Okay. I thought we were friends, mate. I thought we were friends. Yeah, you. 22. There he is. Right, Ricky, add me as a friend, and then I can invite you. Right, let's go. That's why I couldn't find you. You didn't send me a friend request. Oh, there he is. Right. You're in, Ricky. I've sent you one. Now back to the action as everyone's coming out for their second flying lap. As Crows is invalidated. Charlie's just starting, doing another lap. And is retired from the session, so we'll start from the rear. So who's ahead? I think Josh is ahead. No, it's Katami's doing another lap, so we'll see how he's getting on. Can he improve? He shows some fine form in the first race. Oh, big slide out turn 4. That wouldn't have helped him. He lost a bit of time then. He's still up by just under a tenth. Set the fastest first sector still. He's definitely one to watch. You had no meow meow motherfucker from Cats. This bloody dog, man, is so needy. He's that needy, I bet he'll start making bread. As Project Ty, with the first flying lap, gets P10 with a 29 flat. Almost into the 128s. Katami's just slightly up on his time, pretty much equaling. Can he find some final? No, lost of traction. He's in the pits. He's absolutely livid that he's fucked his lap up. As look at this, a bit of slipstream from the for the Ferrari boys. Benji across his line, gets up to P11 for the Rari. Kester's on an out lap. Wesker's on an out lap. We've got a McLaren next across the line. It's Keys on his out lap. Next up is Cygate then, who's found an extra just over nearly 10th and a half. That would get him up to P10. Missed a couple of races, but does P10 with a 28.8. He'll be happy with that. And Ricky has joined us on an out lap in the Alpine. AJ, provisional pole, 27.8. Got the race win last week, and is definitely the one to beat. Benedict will try and challenge that one. Lennon P5, 28.3. Rouse is on an out lap, trying to keep up with all these bastards. Kessler's invalidated. Not for you. Not for you. Next up is Wesker. Down by half a tenth. We'll end the second sector. He's down a tenth now. So not got the pace that he expected. Has some brilliant pace at the start of the season. And he's on a threat from Giza behind him. Wesker crosses the line. Found an extra tenth and goes up to P5. What can Giza do? He's found an extra tenth and just wipes Wesker off the board. Gets himself P5 for the McLaren. Here is Benedict, who's been jumped by Benji Boy. Benedict into the pit centre. Benji Boy on the front row. Next up is Chess Bowl. Doing well in the Challenger and doing even better up to P11, 28.9. One or two in the pits now as it was Krills into the pits. Chessball's done a lap. What's Ral's doing? 2 tenths down. What's Terry's doing? Terry's is doing front row business. 28.75, just 600ths behind AJ. How do you like him now? Ral's crossed the line. Doesn't improve the position or his time. How'd you like me now? Wasn't that a song on like FIFA or something? I don't remember. 5 minutes left of quali. Everyone jumping in the pits. We'll see a big exodus out of the pits with about 3 minutes to go. 1 or 2 just setting a lap out of sync. As well as jump on with Josh, who's leading the way in the Challenger, 72 points, with Chess Bowl second on 47. It'll be interesting to see how we can perform in the race. As it stands, Sygate is on pole for the Challenger Championship. As Ricky! Congratulations, Theo. You raced really well, mate. And you reaped the rewards. Brilliant. And congratulations on your podium, mate. And you thwarted off Callum. I think another 1 or 2 laps he might have had you. But no, good. Congratulations, mate. Megals invalidators. Yeah, I can imagine being on that length of time. I think a lot of drivers probably were struggling. So keep an eye on the Mercedes driver. Looking for that pole. 3 tenths down though. Bahrain just doesn't seem to be his track at the moment. Had a tricky race last week, ended up DNFing, so lost out on some points from his brilliant start. Yeah, go and watch it, mate. You had a good performance, and maybe watch this one afterwards. As he crosses the line, doesn't improve. Is on position, found 2 tenths, but stays P14 for now. So got 1 or 2 drivers now coming on their outlap. Project High taking the race win for the Challenger last week, and we're looking to follow that up with another one currently running P3 in the Challenger, P12 in Div 2. It's got Ricky for a teammate this week, as Briddy's not with us unfortunately, but we'll keep an eye on the Thai man. And not like he owns a Thai shop. I suspect he's got some sort of Alex Albon in him. As he runs down to turn 1. On potentially his final flying lap. Yeah, 2.5 minutes to go, so he's not going to do another lap. This is his final run. Comes around turn 4. And we'll end his first sector. A 2.5 down. If I was him, I'd pull out of this lap, save his tyres and do another run, because he's not going to pull that time back unless he's completely fucked the other 2 sectors. Who's behind him? Terry's on an out lap. Benedict's on a hot lap. Who else is on a hot lap? Ricky's invalidated, so he's not going to improve. It was Krills. Or is it Sygate is ahead? I think Sygate's ahead. As he comes around turn 11. Looks like he's absolutely flying. We'll approach the end of sector 2 and we'll see where he's at. Two tenths up in the fastest middle sector. This will get him up ahead of Rels. The Haas driver is absolutely flying. And we're looking to bag some massive points here for the Haas team. Gets a slipstream off the car ahead as well. Cross the line and does up to P9 with a 28.5. Brilliant lap from Sygate. And that's a retirement from Benedict. So the highest he'll start is P4. Next up was Krills. Down on his time. Cross line P15. Josh in the pits. So is that Josh done as well? I think it might be too late for him to come out. His car's facing the wrong way. As everyone's starting their final flying lap. There's Lennon, looks like one of the last ones. John, the last one. Kessler will be the last one to cross the line then. So this is it. This is it. And that's it for Josh. P14 for him. Charlie and Benedict, they're both retirees, so Chespo's going to be the first one to cross the line. He's found half a second. That's manic. That will get him to P9 ahead of Sygate. Can he get himself on provisional pole? He does for Challenger. Alpina Project tie P12 and P18 for Ricky. Next up is Benja. Found nearly 3 tenths, but will stay P12. Terry's will start P2 on the front row. It's not Keezer. It's AJ. AJ's gone into the pit, so he's pulled out of that lap. Katabe's P3. Sygate's in the pit, so he's not going to improve. What can Magel? Why do you cry, Magel? P16 for the Ferrari. Benji on the front row, P2. Ahead of Terry's. Wesker will start P7. What will Keezer do? P6 for Keezer. Lennon gets himself ahead of Wesker as well, who will start alongside his teammate. John will start P17. What can Kessler do? Will start P19 with a 33. Had improved, but not enough to gain a position. So that is your order, and AJ takes another pole. And just ahead of Benji and Terry's. There's 600ths between P1 and P3. No pizza for Kessler. And Katami just couldn't emulate the laps that he put in Dev 1. And we'll have to try and advance it in the race. AJ takes pole again. 36 thousandths behind is Benji, and Terry Red's 59 thousandths on row 2 with Katabe's just behind him. Benedict, Keezer 5 and 6, Lennon P7, Wesker P8, 9th for Chespo and Sygate round of top 10. Raoul's 11th with Benja joining him on the row 6, 13th and 14th for Project Time. Josh, Krills, Magel, John, Ricky, Kessler and Charlie Goat will be at the back with his quali ban. Oof. 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 It's tight at the top. It's tight in the middle. And it's tight at the bottom. The whole grid's had a gastric band. And it makes for an interesting race. As we wait for drivers then too. We should hopefully have 1 or 2 minutes where drivers will sort out their strategy. It's a medium downforce circuit because you've got to navigate some really quick corners. But those straights, but there's some slow ones you need to get good traction off as well, like the turn 1, the likes of turn 4, turn 8, turn 10. Many corners, So drivers will be mitigating that. It showed in Div 1 that the one stop is possible if you've got some decent pace and you look after your tyres. But most drivers did go for the two stopper, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw many two stoppers. It's a difficult one to look after your tyres. You're 72% on throttle around the circuit. And Liverpool 5-1 up. I think there was goals for Canate and Van Dijk. Can we pit for yards this race? You can, yes, Krills. It was just that special race where it was no hards. There isn't another one this season, so let me let him know. So it looks like everyone's abiding by the rules. I'll let Ricky know as well because he disqualified. So who's watching? Let me know who your podium's going to be. I'm going to go for Terry's to take his first win of the season. I'm going to go for AJ to take P2 and Benji to take P3 as AJ leads us around. Let's look at everyone's strategy. So majority of the grid going on the mediums, with Krills and John going for the alternate. Terry's reckon it's Katamis himself, and then Rels taking the third spot. Katamis taking his first win and Rels with his first podium. That's a brave call there from Terry's. But it's going to be quite interesting. This Grand Prix has been with us since 2004. It was actually built on a camel farm. That's why everyone's round here has got the hump. You have to be wary not to take any photographs of the locals. There's a chance you can be put in jail for it. Keep your camera in your pocket, because they'll piss you off. Well, it won't piss us off, is this circuit? It's a 5.4 kilometres clockwise circuit with 15 corners, 9 to the right and 6 to the left, with three DRS zones, which AJ just led us out of the second one. There's a 63% chance of a safety car and 50% chance of a VSC. We did see one safety car in the Div 1 race. Will we see another one in this one? It's a 22.9 second pit stop. Will somebody do a one stop, or will we see many two stops? Who will know? As AJ comes around the final couple of corners and slots in his grid spot. Big gap between him and Benji in P2. I want Benji to have a good race. He's had one or two dramatic races, let's say, where he hasn't ended where he should do. But I'm putting for the grid as Terry's goes in his pit stop. Yeah, AJ's got a 353 metre run down from pole to turn one braking point. Benji's pointing his car towards AJ, but he's disqualified himself in his grid box. Will hold his start. Terry's and Katamis will be looking, and Benedict and Keyser and Lennon and Wesker. Those lot will be looking to get a good launch off the line. As the lights start going out, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out for Div 2 and away we go. AJ's got a brilliant launch, as Terry's as well. Should get himself ahead of Benji. Lennon's already gained himself ahead of Keyser, as Sygate has lost a couple of places. As Keyser's already lost a couple of places on the inside of turn 1. It's looking like it's all good as Kessler goes wide out of turn 1. Lennon with a brilliant start, as well as Chessbowl's gained a couple of places ahead of his teammate. Benji Boy is taking the lead of the race ahead of AJ. Come around turn 4. Katami's up to P3 ahead of Terry's. And it's all jostling around the middle, and we've got a yellow flag. And we've lost Chessbowl and John and Rels, all early drivers with misfortune on the early stage of this lap, but all carried on going and not out of it yet. As we saw with Jax Daniels in Div 1, who had a torrid start. Charlie Goat getting ahead of Magel, but Magel's not giving up the position. Magel's keeping P14 for now, as every driver taking a quick look at turn 11. Josh up to P10 on the outside of turn 12. Brilliant move from the Mercedes driver. Ahead of it was Krills, whose tyres just aren't quite up to temperature on those hards yet. And Josh now up to P10. Sygate, the leader of the Challenge Championship, is now, but it's got Josh breathing down his neck. Benji sets the first fastest lap. DRS is now active as we started lap 2. There's an early look there from Wesker on Keezer. Keezer, we're telling him to fuck right off in voice chat, I'm sure. Benedict with DRS trying to take a look. Oh, no DRS yet, sorry, so he's not quite be able to make a move on Lennon as yet. But this train has maintained as Magel on Project Tie. Brilliant move at turn 4 from the Ferrari, and slots himself behind his teammate. Up to P13 for Magel. Has a look on the inside. Benja on Krills, but Krills defends it well. Ricky! It's a great overtake on Rouse, and the Red Bull drivers exchange position. Rouse goes deep at turn 10. Misses his braking point and loses out on position, but retakes it. Back on Charlie. Rouse with a struggled start. As we've got one or two drivers just exchanging positions. Round turn 12. Very brave. Charlie with track limits already. And jostling for the position for Ricky, with Ricky. Project Tires split the Ferraris. You can see Charlie. Will we see an overtake down to turn 1 now for the first time? Not yet. As Wesker looks the closest on the inside of Keezer Geezer on turn 1, but Keezer Geezer got better traction coming out the corner and will stay ahead. Come out of turn 3. Ricky's lost a couple of positions to Rels and Charlie. As Wesker looks on the inside of turn 4, and we're seeing that move really quite often as Keezer trying to switch back. I have to slot behind Wesker for now. These two adrift of the train. Benji was showing that early pace and the lead of this train. Benedict and Lennon. Benedict making a move at turn 10. Just Lennon slightly missing his braking point. Lennon on the inside of turn 11. They're going to be side by side. It's still side by side. It's a brilliant racing from the professional drivers, but Benedict stays ahead, and Lennon has to concede the position. Otherwise, I would have lost a wing. Benja at turn 11, getting ahead of Project Tie, and we've got John and Ricky jostling behind as Rels on the outside of 13. You don't see many moves there either, but Project Tie keeping in his nose just ahead as we see AJ losing a couple of positions. What happened with AJ in the pits already after 4 laps? He hasn't got damage, has he? Or is he making an early pit stop? He's got a damaged wing. Oh no, what's happened to AJ? I wonder whether that's a collision with a driver. An early pit stop for the McLaren as Lennon retakes the position on Benedict down to turn 4. Up to P4 for the Aston Martin, and we got a 3-car train here for P1 then with Benji, Katamis and Terry's. Eagle up to P10, side by side through the S's. Oh, just getting a little bit tangled with Krills. It's a difficult place to go side by side as Megal concedes a position to his teammate, and also Project Tie He was too nice, and it's cost him a position to the Alpine, who's side by side going to turn 10 with Benja. Look at this cluster of cars, but they're going to be just in for position. You have to have great awareness of the cars around you. If you try and make an overtake, you end up colliding with another. As you can see, Charlie just affording space to Magel, and Rell's just pushing in the back of Charlie. But they all go single file. Charlie looking on the inside of Magel. A brilliant move there from the Red Bull. I don't think Magel saw that coming, and I don't know if you've seen Rell's coming either. Oh, they've collided. And I think Rell's trying to make a move on Magel. It's cost themselves, Magel, a position, and John as well has lost traction, and Chespel's gone through up to P16 for the Sauber. He's one that's capitalised on the mistake. And what's happened to Kessler? Coming out of turn 1, it's either lost traction. Oh, it's actually collided there with Rouse as well, I think. If Rouse is trying to overtake and Kessler's on re-entry, collided, but it's not a good early stint here for the Aston Martin driver, now down to P19. There is a high chance potentially of a safety car, so it's not all over yet. The one that will be looking for a safety car will be AJ, as Benji still leads this race. Katamise and Terry's keeping him honest. Honest! Trying to do my Codaline impression. It's not the best. Lennon currently running P4 and has got Benedict and Wesker and Keys are all in tow. We found penalties were key in the finishing positions in the race prior to this one. Will we see anyone make a move? Benedict is closing in. Krills get themselves a penalty. Didn't want to do that. Benedict on the inside of Lennon. Both giving each other plenty of respect. Lennon's just inside on turn 2. But look at the speed of Benedict coming out of turn 3. We'll have DRS as well. A brilliant move from Benedict. Up to P4. Project High, track limits. Naughty, naughty. As we go down to Charlie. Making a move on Ricky and Krills on those hard tyres. Project High side by side through the S's again. Very tricky. Was he left enough room? Project High has the inside of turn 8, and I think Krills has given the position back, or trying to do switch back. But Project High has P10. Krills trying to fight back on turn 10. Oh, both just locking tyres. Woo! Nearly took out Benja in the process. And they did. Benja's hit the wall. The yellow flag is facing the other way. Has to let the cars go. Unfortunate for the Ferrari. Project High has been given a penalty for gaining a position by cutting a corner. It's getting a little bit feisty in this middle section. As the Alpine boys are side by side. Don't battle, boys, as Ricky goes through. And Katamise takes the lead of the race. Down at turn 1. And AJ goes through, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Benja in the pits. Project High is getting overtaken. Ricky's getting overtaken as we get a cluster down to turn 1. Oh, they're getting tangled. Chessbowl was a sandwich, caught in the middle. There's nowhere he could go. He had to concede the position. Otherwise, there could have been carnage. On the outside, Krills and Ricky. They're all jostling for position. Chessbowl just has tangled and has gone off track as we entered behind Magel. Ooh, was that an unsafe re-entry there from Chessbowl as Rels and Kessler's gone through. Benja has gone in the pits for a fresh wing and for fresh tyres. It's round out a pit stop phase, so if he can gain that time back from the wing change, then it won't be much loss for him. 1.5 seconds now. This gaggle of cars are closing in on the front 3, which is going to make it a front 7. Sygate still ahead of Josh and has broken the DRS as well. Sygate running a fantastic race so far. Oh no! Sygate! Brake, my guy! Italian hand gesture for Sygate for speeding in the pit lane. Ah, you're your own undoing. You're your own undoing. As Benji, side by side at turn 4 with Katamis. Katamis retains P1, but Terry's is taking a look and side by side now with Benji going through the S's. Concedes back into P3, but brings in the likes of Benedict. They are within DRS. This is now a battle. A 7-car battle for P1. And who's going to bite the bullet and pit first? Rel's up to P14 ahead of Magel. Magel has to slot behind through the S's and go slightly offline with Chessbowl just behind. We'll jump back on to this battle for P1. Benji Boy all over the back of Katamis. Both these boys filled in Div 1 as reserve, so we'll have some extra data to work with. And I'm not surprised that they're running P1 and P2. Other than the unfortunate of AJ having to pit and change his wing. Katamis is going to be under threat. Benji just avoids hitting the back of Katamis, who's going to pit first and get out of this train. Katamis got a good launch out of the final corner. Benedict will overtake Terry's and take P3. Will take a look inside potentially of, but he doesn't. Left plenty of room. And it's as you were, as they all just avoid each other. Benji going for a second bite on Katamis, who defends the inside. Benji with over the outside of turn 4. We'll try the switch back, but Katamis defends well as we see Josh pit now, following the pit of Sygate. As AJ goes on through. AJ goes through. Oh! Benedict avoiding action, trying to take the inside of Benji. Sygate defending from AJ on the inside of turn 4. AJ will try and take back the position as quick as possible. As they close in on Kessler and Magel. Kessler running deep out of turn 8. And looking in his mirrors, all he can see is a Haas and a McLaren. Big gap here from his front 7. Back to Charlie, who's running his own race currently, P8. As Sygate battling with Kessler and gains a position up to P16. Out turn 11. AG on the inside. Oh, what's happened to Benja? I think Benja's disconnected. As we see Benji losing position to Benedict Lennon ahead of Terry's. Both the drivers just colliding. And both maintaining their positions for now. I'll try and re-invite Benja. As we see Magel in the pit now. AJ's got ahead of Sygate. Alpine boys switching positions. Ricky Tennant, Project High 11th. Both looking to try and get past Krills at turn 4, which Ricky on the inside. And Krills has lost a couple of positions, 3 positions. Project High and John both going through. I think the guys on the hard tyres will be better off as John concedes a position to Krills. Both these two on the hard tyres. All the ones on the mediums, their tyres will be hurting them badly. And the front 2 have broken away of Katamis and Benedict. Our Benji tyre is just wearing that too much now. I would not be surprised if we see him potentially pit. And then just falling back in that DRS range. Is he or is he not? And Benedict doing the alternate strategy to Katames. And pitting. So Benedict looking to do the two-stop, same as Lennon and Wesker. I wouldn't be surprised if these front four now will look to pit on the next lap and try and avoid an undercut. Or will they try and do the one stop? You only got one stop. Charlie goes through up to P5. Red Bull driver. Project Ty goes through. Benedict comes out in traffic. All these drivers do. Caught up in this challenger battle. Chessball and Ricky both pitting as well, but should come out in clean air as they see Magel coming down the pit lane. They do just ahead, so a bit of clean air for both of those pair. Wesker's come out behind Sygate, and Sygate's no slouch, who's just pit himself as well. Ben just struggling with his internet. One half of Team Egg, both Ferraris at the back. Benji's internet is scrambled. So the lights of Wesker, Lennon stuck behind Rels and John. And Krills, Benedict stuck behind Project Ty, who makes a move on the inside of turn 11. Project Ty trying to do a switchback, but Benedict's made the move and he's got Charlie down the road. So here we go, Katames is carried on through. Benji, Terry's and Keys are all pitting and may come out in that traffic as well. So Katames, it looks like he might be doing the one stop, or we'll just have better tyres. Lennon's got ahead of Rels as John looking on the outside. AJ. Whoa, nearly, Wells nearly lost his wing. Italian hand gesture for Krills, speeding in the pit lane as everyone, look at this grid just spazzing everywhere. As Benedict has taken the net lead of the race, behind Katames, because Katames is still yet to pit. Lennon side by side with Benji, but Benji's now up to P4. Bell's coming out P18. Keys has come out behind John. And we'll try and navigate him. Wesker's now behind his mate. As Chessbow and Krills exchanging positions. Chessbow with a brilliant move up to turn 4, but has Krills got a better launch? Side by side, now he has to slot behind the S's. Brilliant move from Chessbow up to P15 as we see Benedict overtaking Charlie. And Benedict now up to P2. Jump back down to P16 as we see Magel and Krills having a good battle. Magel up to P16 in the Ferrari. Out of turn 8. Katames now pitting, so Katames still potentially doing the one stop. And just car's not back in, so I'll try and re-invite him. He's not. Oh, he's there. Let's try and get you back in, Benja. As Charlie's in the pits as well. Can we see anyone they can move down the start, finish straight. Wesker on the inside of AJ. AJ trying to do a switchback, but Wesker's got position. Brilliant move from the Sauber driver. As Charlie's gone on the soft. Interesting call. As John's pitting now too. And onto some fresh mediums. Katames is... So this has worked out well for Katames. A bit of fresh air. No traffic, and has come out in P2. Just ahead of Benji, Lennon, Terry's, Wesker and AJ, Sygate and Keezer. Sygate's joined into the battle for the podium positions, and Josh as well. Worked out well for them, pitting earlier. And look at this train for P2. A bit of breathing space for Benedict, but look how close this has worked out. Wesker slightly detached from Terry's, but that will close in. I need a sip of my juice. sipping on gin and juice. Chestboard to P13. Neck lube. Nectar at its finest. Benji Boy not close enough to overtake Katamise yet. As Kiza on the outside of turn 1 on Sakhir defending well his corner. Oh, little loss of traction and has to concede the position to Kiza. Good attempt from Sakhir as Ricky gained position as Kessler goes into the pit to make his pit stop. So we've got Josh and Sakhir side by side through the S's, but Josh has slot behind Sakhir. Sakhir just going a bit offline. Keys into position 2. And McLaren Keys just has to settle himself. As Rels up to P15, overtaking Magel at turn 4. Just keep an eye on Lennon running well in the Aston. Sticking with Benji and Katamise. Katamise, we know, has brilliant straight line speed and utilises his ERS very well. Benedict has broken away. Will we see a 1-stop or a 2-stop from the Visa RB driver? Good to have him back, and what a reward this will be. Better than getting engaged. As Krills pushing Rels round. Turn 12-13. 12-13 is not even real. Katamise defending turn 1. Benji trying to fight past and should be able to make it down to turn 4. Katamise defending. Benji doing a switchback on the outside. Trying to predict what Katamise do. Benji doing a switchback. This could be successful. Josh has overtaken Sakhir, but Katamise is defended well. And Krill's having a good battle as Charlie overtaking Ricky at turn 4. Standard overtake 4. The guy on soft tyres up to P11. Brilliant move from the Red Bull driver. Josh has made a move and broken free from Sakhir. I don't really know. I've sent you a couple invite mates, but obviously they're not working. Yeah. You cracked under the pressure, didn't you? Keys has got himself detached from this podium battle. We'll hope that they'll battle a bit ahead of him and then he can close that gap. Benedict absolutely flying now. While he's got the free air, he might as well push. As Katamise still giving himself some breathing space. As we'll jump back on with Benji, who's taking another look and struggling to get past the Haas. He'll have a second bite of the cherry. He's got a good traction out of turn 2 and 3, and he should be able to make this move, depending on how Katamise is defending. Katamise is trying to defend the inside line. Benji should have the inside. Oh, just a little clip of the wheel between the two, but Haas stays ahead for now. Lennon just watching and waiting, biding his time. As this 5-car battle for P2 is a thrilling one. Terry's sticking with Lennon. Trying to get himself back on the podium again. Wesker I don't think he'd be too happy with his qualifying. Looking to get himself another podium and put a good mark on his challenge for the title for both the Division 2 and for the Professional Championship. Kiza closing the gap. He gained 4/10, half a second now, and joining this battle for P2. As we go back on board and see if Benji's close enough. He's 7/10. He needs to be at least half a second behind. And just not close enough to make a move, even with the DRS. He's saying hello. Cygate now pits. Going to the hards for the rest of the race. Good challenge here from the Haas driver. Good to see him back on the track. As it's a bit of settled race for now. Let's jump on and check out Krills, who's just within breathing distance of Rels. Might be able to make a move going to turn 4. His teammate well within the points. And Krills replacing Red Devil. As we see Project Ty make a move and get himself up to P6 in the head of John. Brilliant move from the Alpine. The end of the DRS zone. This front gaggle of drivers have got Geezer for company now as well. Lennon just pulling out of the train to give his bit of cool air onto his tyres. And this is a critical middle phase. And Benji's just dropped out of DRS. He does have it though, so it was just a traction out the corner. Josh now pitting and following Cygate's pit stop. Will go into the mediums. Should be slightly faster on this stint. AJ just running his own race, but we'll be happy for P8 as it stands. Charlie on the softs will definitely have to pit again. Chessbowl probably the only one here that doesn't technically have to pit, so we should gain a couple of places and just showing a good bit of consistency. But we've got Rels for company. Project Tyre making a move. Oh, and Magel had turn 4. Magel trying to do a switchback, but position gained from Project Ty. Magel has to settle for P15. There's a train here behind Project Ty with John. Josh has come out ahead of Cygate. Oh, Cygate had his 10-second, didn't he, on his pit stop for his pit lane. Oh, if you didn't have that, Cygate, mate, you'd be well in the thick of it. Little mistakes, eradicate them and you'll be solid, mate. Absolutely solid. Benjboy closing in on as Wesker's making the moves now on Terry's side by side through turn 1. And Wesker gets himself up to P5. Critical move for the championship challenge. Benji right on the back of Katamis. Keys are taking a look on Terry's. Not quite close enough yet. As Ricky's in the pit to go and visit Bianca. Chessbowl closing the gap here on potentially on Charlie. Charlie's tyres shouldn't last too long. They are fresh ones, because he didn't do any qualifying, so he should last a bit while. Magel in the pits now as well, and fresh hards to the end of the race. Katami's proving to be quite difficult to overtake here. And what I've seen is putting up a great defence. Benji's going to have to figure out how to make the overtake. Cygate and Ricky on those fresh tyres. Although Cygate's are reasonably fresh too. It's going to be critical for one of these runners. Penalties, keep it within the white lines. As Wesker now looking to try and make a move on Lennon. Not quite close enough yet, and Katami's putting up a brilliant defence, like 20 or 29. He's got another 9 laps to do this. Benji not even under half a second. He's going to try best just try and preserve his ERS. As Chessbowl does make a move on Charlie, who's in the pits to get her off the softs. A bit stretched out these cars down the 1.1 kilometre straight. Used to be the longest straight on the grid. And then the likes of Vegas came along. Charlie comes up just ahead of Cygate on those fresh hards. Ricky not close enough to make a move on Cygate yet. Benedict 7 seconds ahead. And I wouldn't be surprised if if he pits, he'd come out behind AJ, which Callum didn't. Callum in Div 1 pit and only managed to get back to P4. He'd definitely be giving up a position to the cars following, which Katami's actually got some breathing space from Benji. AJ is now pitting. As we see Keys taking a quick look at Terry's. Oh, yeah, oh, you would have thought. Terry's looking in his mirrors. As Krill's pitting as well. So at the moment, Chessbowl leading the way in the Challenger Championship. And I don't think he has to pit again. We'll have Josh closing in. And John currently running P3. But he may have to pit. I don't think he can go to the end on these mediums. It'll be difficult. But running a great race in the Williams. So Katamis has broken away from Benji. Katamis has put the foot to the floor. And on defence, Benji's losing time, which will put him under threat here from Lennon. Down the start-finish straight. Oh. Lennon following. I think Lennon lost a bit of traction coming out of the corner. Trying to follow the slipstream of Benji. But we'll be looking to try and defend from Wesker. Keys has got a better traction off the corner to Terry's. Can we see a move from the McLaren on the inside of turn 4? Oh, I thought he was going to do it again. He's teasing. He's tweaking me nipples. Yeah, naughty boy. Not quite close enough to make a move yet. Katamis has dispatched a Benji now. And solidifying himself a potential P2 here. He pit later than everyone else and it's doing well in his strategy. And then afford a bit of space to Benji. Khan, he's got DRS. Oh, everyone's tyres getting very tricky to work with. One stop was possible. And those that finished on the podium in Div 1 did do the one stop. Benedict now almost a 7-second gap to Katamis. Went well in the pit stop phase for him. Didn't have that much traffic to navigate. Has got and did the undercut on the Haas driver. Keys there all over the back of Terry's. Has a look on the inside of turn 1 again. Rides the inside of the curb. Terry's. Oh, it's a blapped car. Oh, it's teasing. This game. Drop back down and we see AJ on those fresh tyres as he sets the fastest lap with 34. And that's a 3 second for Lennon. That's not what Lennon wanted for his challenge for the podium. AJ just stuck behind Rels, who's on used hards. As we see John go in and make his expected pit stop. As we see AJ make a move up Oh, goes deep though, and it's a switchback from Wells. Opportunist from the Aston Martin, brilliant overtake as John goes on the softs. Looking to get a fastest lap. AG will have to do it all over again as they close in on Chesbol, who's also on used hards. AJ should be absolutely flying on these new mediums. They should gain him a couple of positions. As everyone's dispatched now. Benji's got breathing space from Lennon. He's got breathing space from Wesker. So Wesker will have to look in his mirrors from Terry's and Keyser. Terry's is closing. Will he make a move at turn 1? Wesker defends the inside, but Terry takes a quick look and has to pull out the overtake. Keyser should have better line coming out of turn 2 and 3. And we'll look on the outside. He's been teasing us, but not quite close enough yet. AJ does dispatch Rouse now, and there should be an easy enough overtake up to P9 for the McLaren reserve. Reserves, of course, get half points for the team they're representing, so finishing is valuable towards the constructors and towards his marker on the Div 2 championship. Sorry. And then just closing the gap back on Benji. Has the DRS. Has that track limits penalty. What can Terry's and Keyser do? Keyser is showing some brilliant pace. He just needs to make the overtake and get himself past Wesker and Terry's. Again, both challengers for the championship. Early days. Oh. Sounds like those cars that you have on your spokes on your bike. How's that? Can anyone make a move? I'm not quite close enough yet. Let's just have a look at Terry's, who took a look at Wesker. We've seen that it's the second DRS, which is the one to make the move. And Terry's is close to Wesker. Can he make a move down to turn 4? Wesker defends the inside, but Terry's goes in, takes a second look, and isn't close enough yet as AJ, using DRS again down the straight, gets himself up to P8, past Chesbol. As it stands, Benedict, almost 9-second gap, will take P1, Katamis P2 and Benji P3. Both Benedict and Benji getting their first podiums of the season. Oh, I think I might be lying. Oh, I might be lying. Bear with me. No, I'm right. It would be Benji's first podium. And Benedict's. And for the challenger, Chesbol will take P1. Rel's P2 on their championship debut, and Josh P3. All looking reasonably comfortable. Although Rel's does have the penalties. Let's jump back up. Lennon's still within that 1 second. But what has happened as this Wesker, Terry's and Keys are all joined this battle for P4. We've got 3 laps left. They'd all potentially should jump Lennon on penalties. Lennon's the current Division 2 leader on 100 points, with Katamis behind on 91, Terry's on 88, Wesker on 87 and Keyser on 86. That's how tight the championship is running, but there'll be some big points here for Benedict and Benji. For the pro, Lennon's leading the way, and that is 65 points, with Wesker 60, Keyser 59, Cat 57, and Terry's on 55. So it's tighter than a nun's vagina. And it's anyone's race each week. You never know who's going to be on top. As we keep an eye on Wesker. Touching distance of Lennon now. Lennon, is he struggling on these tyres? As you can see, just snapping coming out of the final corner. Trying to break the slipstream, but Wesker's closing in. Lennon defending the inside. He's made his defensive move. Wesker on the outside of turn 1. The side-by-side. Will Wesker try and do a switchback? He does. Successful move from Wesker up to P4. Lennon had a little oversteer and lost the traction out of turn 2, which would invite Terry's to make the overtake with DRS on the inside of turn 4. Williams driver left plenty of space by Lennon, who was going to have the corner on turn 5, and Lennon, brilliant defence from the Aston Martin. Terry's has to concede. And stays in P6 for now. Will Wesker try and make a late charge on Benji for the podium? Lennon under threat from Terry's again. So we'll have DRS to defend his position. Oh, Bench is back. Well, yeah. Yeah. Unlucky, mate. Well, damage limitations, you still get your points at the end for your car finishing, but yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame. And Wesker now 1.5 seconds. We're on the penultimate lap as Benedict leads us round turn 1. 8.5 seconds on Katames, who's not well away, as Terry's gets past Lennon with DRS up to P5 for the Williams. And Giza goes flying on through as well on the inside of turn 1. Lennon tries to defend it. We'll have better traction coming out of turn 2, slightly squeezing the apex. But Giza has the position. And up to P6 for the McLaren. And we'll try and get past Terry's one final time on the final lap. Krill's getting a penalty. Won't help their finishing spot. It's all detached. Wesker's got breathing space from Terry's, who's actually closing the gap on Wesker. So he's not all solidified for P4. So we jump back on John, who makes a move on Kessler with the soft tyres coming out of turn 13. Brilliant overtake from the Williams. As Wesker will be under threat. Lennon's just, I think, Lennon's tyres are wearing. And knows that he's got a penalty as Kessler fighting for position with John. Tried to make the overtake at turn 1, but John defending his position well. Keeps that P18. We're on the final lap. And this will be one of the final moments where the likes of Terry's or Lennon or Giza can make an overtake. Wesker's kept his ERS in the bank and has breezed a gap away from Terry's. Can Giza make a move on Terry's? He's been teasing it for the whole of the race. I bet he's sick of the back of seeing the rear end of the Williams driver. Got a yellow flag. Is it a Red Bull? What is it? It's Kessler out of turn 10. It's probably a slight collision with John. It's just a yellow flag as Benedict comes around the final few corners. Brilliant race from the I know it's letting past the car lapping him. I wouldn't say he's had it his own way. Like it's on paper, it looks like it's been a dominant display. But with the pit stop strategy and the cars battling around him, he's managed to force himself some free air. And Benedict comes home with his first race win of the season. P1 for the RB driver. Katames comes around the final corner and gets himself another podium. P2 for Haas. And Benji, He'll be happy with that. P3. First podium of the season. Wesker P4. Terry's P5. Keezer comes home P6. Lennon will have to settle P7 with his penalty. AJ, what could have been for him if he didn't have the wing damage, will come home P7. P8. I can't read even though I've got glasses on. P8 for the McLaren. And some valuable points for the McLaren team. Chespol's got rails all over the back of him, but Chespol will take home P9 and will take home the P1 position for Challenger. Josh will take P2 and P10, and Rails first podium for the Challenger Championship and P11 in the Division 2. Charlie P12, but it's got many penalties. Will he get jumped by Cygate? He does. Cygate P12. Project tie up to P13, jumping penalty. Charlie 14th. Ricky 15th. As we see Magel cross the line in the Ferrari. P16 for him. Krill's coming home on their championship debut, P17. And John will be the final finisher, P18. Ooh, what a race. I think we had one or two slight dramas on the early phase, first third of the race. But a fantastic display by all drivers on show from both divisions, of course. But Benedict, with his little shimmy, takes the top step for the first time this season. AJ gets fastest lap. Driver of the day goes to Charlie, but as of course given by the drivers themselves as he got most overtakes. So Benedict with the race win. Katamise P2 and Benji P3. Congratulations to your podium sitters. Wesker P4, P5 for Terry's. Kiza P6, 7th for Lennon, started where he finished where he started. P8th for AJ, but gets faster that with a 30.4. Chessbolt P9, P10 for Josh, up from P14th. 11th for Rels, 12th for Cygate. Project Ty comes home P13th. Charlie P14th from P20. Ricky 15th. Magel 16th. 17th for John. Krills 18th. Kessler 19th. And unfortunately Benja got totally disconnected, but still gets classified in the finishers. What a race round that's been. Some fantastic racing on show as always. And next week we go to even more action with our first sprint race of the season. We've only got two, and this round will be at Monza, so we're sure to see some brilliant strategy on play. This is Lights Out League Racing. My name's Alex. I'm going to go grab some scran. Thank you for joining us. Peace out.